Snorsh, which is actually surprisingly like modern Snorsh. Anyhow, we are talking about the Viking invasions today on the news. Guess what? They came, they saw, they went, which makes me say, hey Vikings, really? You are looking for land all over the place? You're willing to go to Normandy? You're taking over that crappy part of I guess it's not even England yet, but you're taking over that crappy part between the Scotland, or it's not Scotland yet. Dang it. Oh, my history is failing me. Between the Celtic states and what's it called? Nobody happens to know what the kingdom in like southeastern England was called. Sussex area? Oh, my education fails me. But you're taking over the crappy part of England and Snorsh is not good enough for you? Just because 100 Viking warriors were simultaneously devoured by Weagles as soon as you set foot on our muddy, crappy shores. When we didn't have any monasteries to raid, you say, it's not enough? Yes, Wessex, thank you very much. Wessex A-okay? Snorsh not? Go bust yourselves, Vikings. This has been Snorsh. West Lothian. Yes, alright. No, not Westeros.
That's a whole different thing.
Alright, thank you very
Walrus.
much. Alright, that was Snorsh's news on the Viking invasion. The very short-lived, failed... this wasn't Saxony yet.
It's like the Vikings could have easily taken over Snorsh if they wanted to. But it was just like...
they showed up and they were like...
Yeah, and I guess the part of France that the Vikings invaded... Because what happened is the Vikings were raiding all over the place because they were running out of land. And they went up to England. And then the English, they weren't English people yet, started pushing them back out. So they started coming down into France. And they took over what is now Normandy. And then they started going down to Paris. And they tried to invade Paris, but they couldn't quite get there. Because this really cool guy who was the mayor of Paris at the time named Odo actually pushed them back. Because the Merovingian kings were all super incompetent. I think it was like one of them was like named the Fat or the Bald or the Stupid or like they all had terrible
France had been like Gaul at that point?
Yeah, well, not quite. Like, because it had, like, this was after Charlemagne, right? But all his, all of Charlemagne's...
the great Charlemagne.
All of Charlemagne's ancestors were kind of incompetent and fought amongst themselves. But basically, I can't remember which king it was, basically cut them a deal that he'd let them have Normandy. And then the Vikings lived there. And that's why you had the Norman invasion of 1066, because they came back because they'd been pushed out of England. And then because of Arthur the Great and his ancestors just managed to unify most of it. And like get the Danelaw under their control, and the Vikings left, and then they came back a couple hundred years later, and this time it was personal.